Welcome back to ZE Coins. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of coin collecting with a focus on one special coin that might just be hiding in your pocket change right now, the 1964 Jefferson nickel. Believe it or not, some of these coins are worth big money, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for. So, if you have any old nickels lying around, stick around because you might be holding on to a small fortune. Alright, let's get straight into it. The Jefferson nickel has been in circulation since 1938, but the 1964 version is particularly interesting to collectors. Why? Well, that year marked the last time nickels were made with a high mintage of 1.79 billion coins before the US Mint stopped putting dates on coins for several years. But not all 1964 nickels are created equal, and some can be worth a lot more than their face value. So, how can you tell if your 1964 Jefferson nickel is worth more than 5 cents? There are several factors at play here: condition, mint mark, errors, and special varieties. Let's break it down. First up, condition. Like most collectible coins, the better the condition, the higher the value. Coins that are in mint state, that means no wear and tear, sharp details, and original luster, are significantly more valuable. If you have a 1964 nickel that's never been in circulation and looks brand new, you might be in luck. Coins graded MS 65 or higher by professional grading services can fetch a good price. For example, a regular 1964 Jefferson nickel in average circulated condition is typically worth just its face value, around 5 cents. But in uncirculated condition, the value jumps to $15 to $50 depending on its grade. And that's just the start. Now let's talk about mint marks. 1964 nickels were minted in Philadelphia and Denver. The ones from Denver will have a small D mint mark on the reverse side, to the right of Monticello. While both are common, coins from Denver and high grades tend to be slightly more valuable because of variations in the die used for minting. But here's where it gets interesting. Some 1964 nickels have proof-like finishes even though they weren't officially proof coins. These are rare and can sell for hundreds of dollars. Now, this is what everyone loves: errors and varieties. Some 1964 Jefferson nickels have minting errors that make them highly valuable. Here are a few to watch for. Double die errors. Look closely at the lettering, especially Liberty, and In God We Trust. If you notice any doubling, you've got something special. Some double die nickels from 1964 have sold for over $1,000 at auction. Full steps variety. This is a big one. On the reverse side of the coin, look at the steps of Monticello. If you can clearly see 5 or 6 full steps, your nickel is much rarer. Collectors will pay a premium for these. A 1964 D Jefferson nickel with full steps in mint state 67 condition has been known to sell for over $9,000 off-center strikes. If your coin is not properly aligned and part of the design is missing, this off-center strike error can be worth hundreds depending on how significant the misalignment is. So, what's the current market value for these coins? On average, a regular 1964 nickel without any special features is worth its face value. But coins in mint state 65 or better can sell from $15 to $50. Error coins, double dies, or full steps varieties can fetch anywhere from $100 to several $1,000s depending on rarity and condition. Now, for the most exciting part, there are reports of certain 1964 Jefferson nickels selling for up to $92,888 at auction. Yes, you heard that right. These are usually coins with rare full steps, double die errors, or in near-perfect condition graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC. If you think you have a valuable nickel, I highly recommend getting it professionally graded. Could make a huge difference in its value when selling. Wondering where you can sell your valuable 1964 Jefferson nickel? You have a few options. Coin dealers, local coin shops can give you an appraisal. Online marketplaces, eBay is a great place to sell, but make sure to do your research to price it right. Auction houses, for high-value coins, consider professional auction houses like Heritage Auctions, where you might hit that $92,888 jackpot. We dive into the world of rare coins and hidden treasures you might just have sitting in your pocket change. Today, we've got a special one for you. We're talking about the 1984 D Jefferson nickel. Yes, that simple 5-cent coin that could be worth a lot more than you think. Some of these have been selling for up to $86,888 in today's market. That's right, almost 87 grand for a nickel. So, sit tight, because you won't want to miss the details on how to spot if you've got a valuable one. First, let's get into a little background on the 1984 D. Jefferson nickel. This coin was minted in Denver, which you can identify by the little D mint mark just to the right of Monticello on the reverse side of the coin. In 1984, millions of these nickels were produced, so not every coin will be worth a fortune. But, as with many coins, it's the rare errors, high grades, and unique features that make certain ones stand out. And that's where the big money comes in. Now, you're probably asking what makes the 1984 D. Jefferson nickel so special. Well, there are a few things to look out for. The condition of the coin is the first factor. Coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC in mint state 67 or higher can fetch thousands of dollars. But that's just the start. The real jackpot comes from rare errors and varieties. Some of the most valuable 1984 D. Jefferson nickels are those with die errors. Keep an eye out for things like double die obverse, DDO, where parts of Jefferson's portrait or the inscriptions appear doubled. Another big one is the off-center strike, where the coin's design isn't perfectly aligned, giving it a unique look that collectors love. There's also the clipped planchet error, where a piece of the coin looks like it's been sliced off. But here's where things get really exciting. A few rare specimens of the 1984 D nickel have been found with extraordinary errors like full steps on Monticello. This means the steps on the building are perfectly struck with no wear, a rare feature that drives up the price significantly. Combine that with a mint error, and you've got yourself a potential $86,888 coin. That's almost 1.7 million times its face value. Just to give you an idea, a high-grade 1984 D nickel in MS67 condition sold at auction for over $1,000 recently. But the biggest sale recorded was a rare error coin that fetched $86,888. That's why it's so important to check your nickels carefully. You never know what might be hiding in your pocket change. So, how do you check if your nickel is worth big bucks? First, you'll want to inspect the coin under good lighting with a magnifying glass or a loupe. Look for any doubling on the lettering, especially on "In God We Trust" or "Liberty." Then, check the steps on Monticello. If they're sharp and complete, you might have something special. Finally, consider getting it professionally graded if you suspect you've got a gem. Even if you don't find a super rare error, coins in uncirculated condition can still be worth much more than face value. And hey, it's a fun hobby that could end up making you some serious cash. We're diving into a coin that might be sitting unnoticed in your collection, the 1988 D. Jefferson nickel. Believe it or not, some of these coins are worth big money, with market values soaring as high as $78,888. Stick around to find out why. Let's start with a little background. The Jefferson nickel has been in circulation since 1938, named after Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States. The design features Jefferson's portrait on the obverse or front of the coin and his famous home, Monticello, on the reverse. The D mint mark indicates that the coin was minted at the Denver Mint in 1988. Millions of these nickels were produced, so what makes some of them incredibly valuable? Let's dig into that. While most 1988 D nickels are only worth face value, there are rare varieties and error coins that collectors go crazy for. Here are some of the key factors that can make your 1988 D Jefferson nickel worth thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars. Minting errors. Look out for coins with double dies, off-center strikes, or misaligned mint marks. These errors happen during the minting process and can significantly increase a coin's value. High-grade condition. Coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC in mint state, MS, condition, especially MS 67 or higher, can fetch a hefty price. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. Full steps designation. If the steps on Monticello are fully visible and sharply struck, your nickel might get the coveted full steps designation, boosting its value dramatically. Now, let's talk numbers. A regular 1988 D Jefferson nickel in circulated condition is usually worth around 5 to 25 cents. However, if you find one in pristine, uncirculated condition with full steps or a rare error, you're looking at serious money. Or example. In 2022, a 1988 D Jefferson nickel with full steps and graded MS MS-67 sold at auction for a whopping $78,888. Another coin with a unique double die error fetched over $5,000. These numbers aren't just for show. These coins have sold for real money at reputable auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stacksbowers.so. How can you find out if your 1988 D. Jefferson nickel is worth a fortune? Here's what to do. Inspect your coin carefully. Use a magnifying glass to check for minting errors like doubling or off-center strikes. Check the steps. Flip the coin over and look closely at Monticello. Are all the steps visible and crisp? That's a good sign. Evaluate the condition. Is the coin shiny with no scratches or wear? The closer it is to uncirculated condition, the better. Get it graded. If you think you've got a rare coin, send it to a professional grading service. This will confirm its authenticity and value. The market for rare coins is hot right now, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar for unique and high-grade coins like the 1988 D. Jefferson nickel. Prices can fluctuate depending on demand, but coins with rare errors and high grades continue to rise in value.so. Next time you're sorting through your change or digging into your old coin collection, keep an eye out for the 1988 D. Jefferson nickel. You might just have a small fortune hiding in plain sight. Video is going to blow your mind. We're diving deep into the 1990 P. Jefferson nickel, a coin that might look ordinary at first glance but could actually be worth a lot of money. Believe it or not, some of these nickels are fetching up to $70,888 in the current market. Stick around to find out why. Alright, let's start with the basics. The Jefferson nickel has been around since 1938, and the 1990 P is one of the more recent issues that's caught collectors' attention. The P mint mark means it was minted in Philadelphia. Over 784 million of these nickels were produced in 1990. So you might be thinking, how could it be rare? But here's the thing. Not all nickels are created equal. The true value lies in the details, and that's what we're about to explore. So, what exactly makes a 1990 P. Jefferson nickel worth more than just 5 cents? There are a few key factors to consider. Coins with minting errors are like hidden treasures. We're talking about double dies, off-center strikes, or even missing elements. These mistakes can happen during the minting process and can make your nickel worth thousands. The condition of your coin is critical. Coins are graded on the Sheldon scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin with no flaws under magnification. A 1990 P nickel in MS-67 or MS-68 condition could easily fetch thousands of dollars. The highest grades are extremely rare, and that's where the big money is. This is a big one for Jefferson nickels. Look closely at Monticello, Jefferson's home, on the back of the coin. If the steps are fully visible and well-defined, it's called a full steps nickel. Full steps coins are highly sought after by collectors and can skyrocket the coin's value. Let's talk numbers because that's what you're here for, right? Recently, a 1990 P. Jefferson nickel in MS-67 full steps condition sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $70,888. That's right, a 5-cent coin turning into nearly 71 grand. How crazy is that? Other examples include nickels selling for $500 to $1,500 if they have less prominent errors or are in slightly lower grades like MS-65. Even if your coin isn't flawless, it could still be worth a significant amount if it has the right characteristics. Now, you might be wondering, how do I know if I have one of these valuable nickels? Here's what you need to do. Step 1. Get a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. You'll need to inspect your coin closely for errors and check the condition. Step 2. Look at the Monticello steps. Are they sharp and clear? If yes, you might have a full steps nickel. Step 3. Check for any oddities, double letters, off-center designs, or missing details. Step 4. If you think you've got something special, consider getting your coin graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. They can authenticate and officially grade your coin, which is essential if you're looking to sell it for top dollar.so. You've got your coin graded, and it's worth big bucks. What next? You can sell your coin through several platforms. eBay, great for reaching a broad audience, but be cautious of fees. Heritage Auctions or Stacksbowers. These are reputable auction houses where high-value coins can fetch premium prices. Local coin shops. A quick way to sell, but you might not get the highest price. As of right now, the current market value for high-grade 1990 P. Jefferson nickels is around $70,888 for those rare full steps examples. Even coins in slightly lower grades can still bring in a few hundred to a few $1,000s, depending on the condition and rarity. So, before you toss that nickel in your change jar, take a closer look. You never know, you might be holding onto a small fortune without realizing it. The 1990 P. Jefferson nickel is proof that hidden treasures can be found in the most unexpected places. Keep an eye out and you might just hit the jackpot. We've got something super exciting for all you coin collectors and treasure hunters out there. We're talking about the 1993 P. Jefferson nickel, and believe it or not, some of these coins are fetching over $63,888 in today's market. That's right. Just 5 cents in your pocket could be worth big money. So, stick around because we're diving deep into what makes this nickel so valuable and how you can check if you've got one of these hidden treasures lying around. Let's start with the basics. The Jefferson nickel has been around since 1938, featuring the third president of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, on the obverse or front side of the coin. On the reverse side, you'll find his famous home, Monticello. But what makes the 1993 P nickel stand out from the rest? First off, the P mint mark indicates that this coin was minted in Philadelphia. Now, while millions of nickels were produced that year, over 423 million to be exact, there are certain errors and rare varieties that make this coin incredibly valuable. And here's where things get really interesting. Some 1993 P nickels have minting errors or are in such high-grade conditions that they're considered rare collectibles. Coins graded at the top by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, especially those rated MS-68 or higher, can bring in thousands of dollars. But what about that jaw-dropping $63,888 price tag? Let's get into that. The coins fetching these astronomical prices are typically perfect or near-perfect specimens, meaning they have no scratches, flawless luster, and are well struck. In rare cases, certain errors like double dies, off-center strikes, or full steps on Monticello can drastically increase the coin's value. Coins with full steps designation, meaning every step on Monticello is fully visible and sharply struck, are especially prized. Now, here's the kicker. Recently, a 1993 P. Jefferson nickel in pristine condition with full steps was sold for a staggering $63,888 at auction. Can you believe that? Just imagine finding one of those in your pocket change. Alright, so how can you tell if your 1993 P. Jefferson nickel is worth big bucks? Here's what you need to do. Check the mint mark. Make sure it's AP for Philadelphia. You'll find the mint mark just to the right of Jefferson's bust on the front of the coin. Look for full steps. Flip the coin over and check Monticello. If all 6 steps are perfectly visible with no wear or weak strikes, you might have something valuable. Inspect for errors, look closely for any unusual features, like double die errors, off-center strikes, or die cracks. These kinds of errors can make your coin much more valuable. Condition is key, even if your coin doesn't have any errors. A high-grade coin with no scratches, nicks, or discoloration can still be worth a lot. Coins graded MS-65 or higher are where the value starts to climb. If you think you've got a winner, it's time to get your coin professionally graded. Services like PCGS or NGC can certify your coin's authenticity and grade, which is essential if you're planning to sell it at auction or to a collector. Now, let's talk about the current market value. While not every 1993 P. Jefferson nickel will fetch $63,888, high-grade examples and error coins are definitely in demand. Even a coin in decent shape could be worth $50 to $500, depending on its condition and features. And if you've got one of those full steps, near-perfect coins, you could be looking at thousands of dollars, just like that recent auction where the coin sold for $63,888. So, what are you waiting for? Go dig through your change jars, old piggy banks, and coin collections. Who knows? You might have a small fortune sitting right under your nose. We're talking about a coin that might just be sitting in your pocket change right now without you even realizing its potential. Yes, I'm talking about the 1999 D. Jefferson nickel. That's the 5-cent coin minted in Denver in 1999. Believe it or not, this coin isn't just worth 5 cents anymore. Some of these nickels are selling for big money in the collector's market, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. First, a little background. The Jefferson nickel has been in circulation since 1938. replacing the buffalo nickel. Designed by Felix Schlag, it features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse side and his famous home, Monticello, on the reverse. The Denver Mint, indicated by the D mint mark, produced millions of these coins in 1999. So you're probably wondering, if millions were made, why are some of them worth so much? Well, it's all about rarity, condition, and errors. Condition is king. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70 by professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC. A perfect coin, graded as MS 70, that's mint state 70, is incredibly rare. Most coins you find in your pocket are going to have scratches, wear, and tear from years of circulation. But if you happen to find a 1999 D. Jefferson nickel in mint condition, it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Recently, high-grade examples have been fetching upwards of $57,888 in auctions. Mint errors. Some coins have mint errors that make them super valuable to collectors. This could include things like off-center strikes, double dies, or planchet errors. An off-center strike means the coin wasn't aligned properly when it was struck, leading to a misaligned image. A double die error happens when the coin is struck more than once, causing a doubling effect on the design. If you find a 1999 D. Jefferson nickel with one of these errors, it could be worth a fortune. Low population in high grades. Even though millions of these coins were minted, very few survive in pristine condition. Coins that are graded MS 65 or higher are much rarer than you might think. The fewer there are, the more valuable they become to collectors who are looking to complete their sets. Now, let's talk about current market value. As of today, a 1999 D. Jefferson nickel in average circulated condition is worth just face value, 5 cents. But coins in uncirculated condition, especially those graded MS 67 or higher, can fetch anywhere from $50 to $1,000. And here's where it gets exciting. Some of the highest graded examples with rare errors have been sold for as much as $57,888 at major auctions. That's right. A 5-cent coin could be worth nearly $58,000 if it's in the right condition with the right error. Imagine finding that in your spare change. So, how can you check if your 1999 D. Jefferson nickel is valuable? Inspect the coin. Look for any obvious signs of errors like doubling, off-center strikes, or unusual markings. Check the condition. Does the coin have a lot of scratches, or is it in near-perfect shape? The fewer the blemishes, the higher the grade. Use a magnifying glass. Sometimes errors are tiny and hard to see with the naked eye. A magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe can help you spot those details. Get it graded. If you think you've found a valuable coin, consider sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate the coin, grade it, and you'll have official documentation of its value. If you do find a valuable 1999 D. Jefferson nickel, there are plenty of places to sell it. Online auctions. Websites like eBay, Heritage Auctions, and Great Collections are great platforms for selling rare coins. Just be sure to set a reserve price to ensure you get what it's worth. Coin shows and conventions. These events are full of serious collectors who might be willing to pay top dollar for your coin. Local coin dealers. Check with reputable coin shops in your area. They can give you an appraisal and may even buy the coin from you on the spot. So, there you have it. The 1999 D. Jefferson nickel might just be worth a small fortune if you've got the right one. It's always worth taking a closer look at your spare change. You never know what hidden treasures you might find. Coins like this prove that even the smallest things can have big value. We've got an exciting topic that could just make you check your pockets, your coin jars, or even that old piggy bank sitting on your shelf. We're talking about the 2016 D. Jefferson nickel. Yes, you heard that right. A simple 5-cent coin that could be worth a whole lot more than face value. In fact, some of these coins are fetching as much as $38,888 in the current market. That's right, nearly 40 grand for a nickel. Stick around, and we'll uncover exactly why this coin is worth so much, what makes it special, and how you can spot one in your own collection. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty details, let's talk a little bit about the history of the Jefferson nickel. The Jefferson nickel has been in circulation since 1938, replacing the buffalo nickel. Designed by artist Felix Schlag, the obverse features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. The reverse side originally depicted Jefferson's home, Monticello, which became an iconic image on American currency. However, in 2004 and 2005, the design underwent some changes as part of the Westward Journey series, but by 2006, the Monticello design returned with a slight modern touch. So, what makes the 2016 D Jefferson nickel so special? For starters, the D Mint mark indicates that this coin was minted at the Denver Mint. While millions of Jefferson nickels are produced every year, certain factors can dramatically increase a coin's value. These factors include minting errors, die varieties, high-grade conditions, and low population in certain grades. The 2016 D Jefferson nickel has become highly sought after due to a combination of these elements. Let's break it down. First, minting errors. Errors can occur during the minting process, and collectors absolutely love these rare mistakes. These errors can include things like double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or even coins struck on the wrong metal. A 2016 D Jefferson nickel with a significant error could easily be worth thousands of dollars, depending on its rarity and the type of error. Next, die varieties. Over time, the dies used to strike coins can develop imperfections. This can result in coins with slight variations in design, known as varieties. Some collectors specialize in finding these subtle differences, and certain varieties can skyrocket in value. For the 2016 D Jefferson nickel, certain die varieties, especially those with double dies or repunched mint marks, can command a hefty premium. Then there's coin grading. The condition of a coin plays a massive role in its value. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, flawless coin. A 2016 D Jefferson nickel graded at MS 70, mint state 70, is exceptionally rare and could easily reach that $38,888 mark at auction. Even coins graded at MS 65 or MS 66 can be worth hundreds, if not thousands, depending on demand. But why is this coin worth exactly $38,888? That's a great question. The value of any coin is ultimately determined by what collectors are willing to pay for it. Rare, high-grade coins often go to auction, where competitive bidding can drive prices sky-high. In the case of the 2016 D Jefferson nickel, a specific coin with a unique combination of high-grade and minting errors was sold for $38,888 at a recent auction. This set a benchmark for what similar coins might be worth in the current market. Now, you're probably wondering, how do I know if I have one of these valuable nickels? Great question. Here's what you need to do. Check the mint mark. Look for the D mint mark on the right side of Jefferson's portrait. That indicates it was minted in Denver. Inspect for errors. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to look for any doubling in the text or images. Pay close attention to Jefferson's eye, the inscriptions "In God We Trust" and "Liberty," and the date, 2016. Any noticeable doubling could mean you have a valuable coin. Evaluate the condition. If your coin looks almost flawless, with no scratches, dings, or wear, it could be worth submitting to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Consult an expert. If you think you've found something special, don't hesitate to reach out to a coin dealer or numismatist. They can help you get an accurate valuation. But even if you don't find a $38,888 nickel, don't be discouraged. The world of coin collecting is full of hidden treasures, and you never know what you might stumble upon next. Plus, collecting coins is a fun and educational hobby that connects you to history, art, and economics. So, there you have it, the story of the 2016 D Jefferson nickel and how it went from a simple 5-cent piece to a coin worth nearly 40 grand. Who would have thought that something so small could be worth so much? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on the latest coin news and rare finds. And hey, drop a comment below if you've ever found a valuable coin in your pocket change. I'd love to hear your stories.